The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube, and also on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are invited to comment, whether you agree with me or not. No retribution. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio. We are syndicated across the United States into 12 million additional households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Some geopolitical experts are saying that tensions are starting to rise over the availability of oil across the world, and that could, they say, lead to world conflict. Just what we need, right? Well, Hampshire College professor Michael Klare is one of those who is raising the alarm. Klare says that the competition over raw materials could create a face-off between the United States and China. According to Klare, the United States Africa Command, that's one of 6 of the Defense Department's regional military headquarters, was really launched to protect U.S. oil interests on the continent as China expands its influence there. And he says that another possible flare-up is brewing between the United States and Russia over that nation's command on oil and natural gas resources. Klare knows what he's talking about. He's written 13 books. He is the nation's defense correspondent, and his latest book is called Rising Powers, Shrinking Planet, The New Geopolitics of Energy. We had to have him on the show to raise the alarm to us, an audience that is always on the cutting edge of what's going on globally. Michael Klare, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
I'm pleased to be with you.
Well, we're glad to have you. You know, nobody knew that when we scheduled this for today that we would be reporting breaking news, that oil went up $10 a barrel, and the Dow closed 396, almost 400 points down.
Whoa.
Yes, we have a problem here, my friend.
Wow. Well, you're breaking news to me too, because I wasn't aware. I haven't seen the most recent headlines, so this is quite a shock. Not surprising, but not entirely.
And why are you not surprised?
Well, because I study the
Why, Michael Klare, are you not surprised?
Well, yes, because I study the long-term fundamentals, and the people out there who buy and sell oil are very much aware that supplies are drying up, that demand is soaring, and that we face very scary conditions, and that these scary conditions could lead to further disruptions in the flow. I speak, for example, of increased conflict in Nigeria, increased conflict in Iraq, and the possibility of a war with Iran.
Well, let's talk about, not in the order you gave it to us, let's talk about Iraq for starters. They keep changing the reason for the invasion of Iraq. There are many people who believe that it was really to get control of the oil reserves there, but I don't understand why you invade, if that's the case, a country in order to get their oil reserves because of your nation's interests, the national interests of the United States and the coalition members that went in there, and not take control of the oil. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yes, well, I'm not among those who believe that the United States went to war in Iraq to seize its oil reserves. I have a geopolitical view which says that the United States invaded Iraq in accordance with the Carter Doctrine from 1980, which says that control of the entire Persian Gulf region is a vital interest of the United States, and the entire region houses 2/3 of the world's oil. Iraq only has 1/10. but the Persian Gulf region as a whole has 2/3 of the world's oil, and that it's crucial for the United States to control all of it. That's my belief of why the U.S. invaded, that Saddam Hussein posed a threat to that control, but now that he's removed and the U.S. occupies Iraq, the U.S. is in a dominant position, controls the flow, and therefore China and Europe and Japan all are dependent on America's control of the region. So it was a geopolitical move, not specifically to gain control of Iraq's oil.
Our guest is a Nation Defense correspondent Michael Klare, who's telling us that there's a possibility that there may be additional warfare over diminishing oil reserves. And what's going on in Nigeria, and how is that affecting the availability of oil?
Nigeria is the leading supplier of oil in Africa, and it's expected to be one of America's leading suppliers of oil. It's an attractive. If you put aside the political problems and the military problems, Nigeria is very attractive because you can ship the oil directly across the Atlantic to refineries on America's east coast. The oil is of the so-called light sweet variety. It's easily refined into gasoline, so it's a very attractive source of oil. The problem is that historically the oil comes from the Niger Delta region in the south. Historically, the people in that area, minority peoples, have been totally exploited by the elites that control the country in the north and the center. They get all of the oil wealth. They keep it to themselves. None of it trickles down to the people in the Niger Delta, and those people are now in revolt